How's it going, everyone? Sessiion here. Welcome to Dead by Daylight. We have ourselves the 7.2 patch notes for the Xenomorph, aka the Alien. This was released as of today at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And so let's just go ahead and check out some of the patch notes that we have upcoming for the game, knowing that all this content is currently now live. So, of course, that being said, we have ourselves new content. We have the new killer, Xenomorph. Dev note, note that map-specific hook will be overridden with the Xenomorph's hook when you play as or against the Xenomorph. So I think what that pretty much means is whenever we are playing against Xenomorph or as Xenomorph, the hook positions will be different just with relations to the power of the killer because of the tunnels and the control stations. So, as we know, the power of the killer is the same. Hidden Pursuit allows a killer to access a series of tunnels, and they can do so by accessing a control station, and that can be applied to all the maps in the game, which is really cool. And when they exit out of the tunnels, then the killer instinct will activate, and the killer has a chance of being able to track anybody who's nearby. And they also have a mode called crawler mode, which the killer wants to spend as much time as possible in because it reduces the tear radius, it lets them be a little bit stealthier, and they can attack with the tail, which, as far as I know, the tail has a longer range than the standard attack that the killer has, and they can go over like pallets and windows and that sort of thing. So definitely a very important mode for the killer to be in as much as possible. The control stations are scattered across the map, and survivors can interact with these stations to get a flame turret, while the Xenomorph can enter and exit those tunnels underneath the stations. So I've learned that it's pretty scary actually to try and go for one of these turrets and then have the Xenomorph come out of that tunnel because he wants to just check this area out, and then you just happen to be at his feet basically. It's really scary to actually think about that sometimes. I've had that moment once or twice. And then of course we have the remote flame turret, which survivors can use to counteract the Xenomorph in general. So whenever the Xenomorph enters the radius and is in line of sight of the turret can attack. The attack will stagger Xenomorph, especially if they're in crawler mode, take them out of it, and then it will allow them to just force the killer out of that mode. And then they also have to repair the turrets in order for the Xenomorph to be able to take damage from it again. The Xenomorph can also attack them, and then there are some add-ons that the Xenomorph has where attacking and destroying a turret actually gives them a benefit. So it kind of is a refreshing way to go up against the killer using an actual item. So I appreciate that. Perk wise for the killer, it looks like everything is the same. We have ultimate weapon, rapid brutality, alien instinct. I think we said that alien instinct was going to be a really dangerous perk, and same thing with rapid brutality, but I don't know how much that haste really works out for itself though, so we'll see. And then ultimate weapon I think will be really good for certain killers as well, and we'll kind of get ourselves immersed in that a little bit when we find out later on. And of course we have Ellen Ripley, new survivor. Same perks, everything looks like it's the same. Lucky Star being a locker perk. When you hide inside of a locker, you don't leave pools of blood or make sounds of pain, and then when you exit the locker, you can see the closest generator's aura and also other survivors for some seconds, which is cool. Chemical trap being basically the blast mine of pallets. It'll slow the killer down when they break the pallet that has the trap attached to it, and that'll be really helpful to see that come into place. And then light-footed, when you're healthy, the perk is active, and then you basically don't make noise when you're running, and the perk is on cooldown if you vault over something. So this will be a very good stealth perk if you want to try and stay a little bit quiet at a certain distance. Since the killer is able to hear you up and down without seeing scratch marks, this perk can come in handy. We have the new map, the Nostromo. Great map, honestly. I love some of the Easter eggs that they actually implemented in this. I feel like this is the first map also where they did implement Easter eggs that I was visually aware of. So really huge W for this map, and I really enjoyed playing this, especially if you're playing it as the Xenomorph. Xenomorph on this map is amazing. Now, with the PTB live changes, let's see. Increase Xenomorph movement whilst traversing the map in the tunnels to 18 meters per second. It was 16. Okay. Looks like there might be some buffs for the Xenomorph across the board. So I'm also expecting them to do the same thing for demo, but we'll see. Whilst into the tunnel, when in proximity of an exit, the tunnel connection to the control station's aura is highlighted for the killer. Cool. Improved visual feedback on the tail attack for players. Okay. So it looks like the tail might have looked kind of weird for the survivor's POV. Fix the obstruct tail attack animation going through objects for survivors. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. Movement speed after missing a tail attack has been increased to 2 meters. It was 1.2 whilst on cooldown. Okay. Destroyed turrets now take 60 seconds and return to a control station instead of 45. Okay, so it takes longer now. Okay. Multiple turrets firing at a killer no longer stack. Xenomorph will not lose its power faster if it's affected by the turret more than one at a time. Oh, see, Interesting. So yeah, it was really good in the PTB that if there were two turrets close to each other and they both were lined inside the killer, it forced the killer out of crawler mode faster. I think that was actually, I think I preferred that versus them making it not stack. So I mean, we'll see how well the killer plays out. I do think that this might be a little bit too strong at the moment, but we'll see. When burned by a flame turret without crawler mode ending, the power recovery now starts after a second. It was 2. Okay, that's fine. When burned by a remote flame turret without crawler mode ending, the power recovers at 25 per second. It was 20%, 25% per second. It was 20%. Okay. A turret being carried by a survivor now provides the audio radar feedback to any survivor in range. Okay. Slightly decrease the turret's placement restriction and turret collision to allow a bit more flexibility with turrets in enclosed locations. Yeah, so it was really hard to put a turret in a place that would, like, where there was like a structure where you can use to like loop the killer basically. It was really complicated to put it down, and it kind of forced you to put it outside, but being able to put it inside actually does make it a little bit easier. So this change is actually welcomed. The emergency helmet add-on is now rare instead of uncommon, and it now offers 35% increased resistance instead of 50. Okay, they buffed the commonality. Actually no, it's kind of a nerf altogether. Yeah, they made it rare instead of uncommon, and then they decrease it to 35 from 50. Yeah, okay. Brett's Cap add-on is now uncommon instead of rare. Okay, it's fine. And then they adjusted Xenomorph's chase music. Cool. Killer tweaks. Okay. For the night, Pillage Me decreases the amount of time it takes for a guard to complete their order action by 15%. It was 25. Okay. Tattered Tabard increases the patrol time for all the guards by 8 seconds. It was 6. Okay. Town Watch's Torch. When survivors escape guard hunts without being hit 2 times, it was 3 times. The night gains undetectable for 25 seconds. Okay. So it's kind of like a couple of, like, you know, quality of life changes. Like it's like a balance update, I think, overall. Like there's a nerf and a buff at the same time for the night. So I personally would say that the patrol time being higher is technically a nerf, only because it doesn't, you know, the killer can't reuse the guard as quickly. But it does kind of weigh itself out, though, because the patrol time can be longer. So I understand that being you know, an even balance out kind of thing. And then this, however, this is definitely a pretty decent buff for it to be 2 versus 3. So there's that. Demogorgon. Oh, okay. Maybe we're right. Killer power. Undetectable after teleport lasts for 5 seconds. It was 3. Okay. Rat Tail increases the speed of opening a portal by 50%. It was 35. Unknown Egg decreases the cooldown after traversing the upside down by 2.5 seconds. It was 1.5. Yeah, so the demo is getting buffed quite a bit. Violet Wax Cap increases the duration of the undetectable status gained when emerging from a portal by 1 second. It was half. And then Lepro's Lichen reveals the auras of all survivors while traversing the upside down. After emerging from a portal, the auras of all survivors within 16 meters of an active portal are revealed for 3 seconds. Yeah, I kind of figured that, because a lot of people in the community are saying that Demogorgon and Alien are pretty similar to each other, but the problem is that Alien is kind of an upgraded version of Demo, and so I feel like some of these changes at least allow Demo to have a you know, a little change in identity while still being able to be similar by design concept, not really, but like kinda, to Xenomorph. So I think the way that you can kind of look at it is that Xenomorph is basically not completely undetectable, but can be like stealthy and then has a range attack, whereas Demo, and they can also pick and choose where they want to go for the tunnel system, right? Demogorgon doesn't have that. They can go in the portal and then go to a place, but they also get a lunge and they're undetectable instead of being like low tear radius. So I'm cool with those changes. Lovely. Audio. Fix the audio update for Jonah Vasquez, grunts of pain, screaming, and etc. Oh, okay, cool. I feel like he actually was silent in some cases, and it wasn't because of Iron Will, so I'm intrigued by that. Features. PC graphics update. Kind of a big one, honestly, because I feel like after 7 years for us to get this update finally is kind of nice. So you can toggle VSync on and off. You can change the frame limit. You can setting toggle. Nice. The anti-aliasing on and off, and then you can set resolution options update. This is actually a pretty decent change. I like it a lot. And then there's a lot of bug fixes and good bot stuff, some character stuff, perk stuff, platforms UI. Oh, okay, that's a kind of a cool one. Yeah, for being in the match found message is cool. Miscellaneous, the Xenomorph since PTB. Oh, okay, these are also still bug stuff. Okay. PTB adjustments. Okay. Known issues. Crawler mode is incorrectly translated as runner mode in game and will be updated in a future update. Instability may occur when full screen mode is being used when the game is out of focus. Okay. Due to an issue with the temporal purgation, the map has been temporarily removed from rotation, and the offering the last mask has also been disabled until the issue is addressed. And that's all there is to it. So I think for this being a short and sweet release for Alien, I think that's good. I think that the developers are pretty comfortable right now knowing that there's not really many changes to look into, and in their mind the game is in a healthy state right now in terms of how it should be functioning. So I think that Xenomorph will be happily welcomed into the game with open arms on the kill side, and Ellen, same thing for sure on the survivor side. I am definitely going to check out the gameplay with the Xenomorph in mind. I do expect a lot of people to be trying out Xenomorph, and I expect a lot of people to be playing Ellen as well. I think all in all, pretty much a good W for this game with this release of concept for the game. So we'll definitely check it out. I'm excited to see what it kind of plays out as. And I love that they've added really small details for both sides of Alien and Ellen with the map, and Jonesy as well. Jonesy's a W to this game. So thank you for watching. We'll check it out. I'm looking forward to it, and I'll see you guys there. Take care.